Greetings, Goddess, Body, Mind, Spirit community. I am Omilade, also known as Tyra to some people. That's what my mama and daddy named me. And at one point I went by Tyra Olafemi. I've completed my initiation, so really any of those names I'll answer to. However, you'll start hearing me call myself Omilade here on this channel. And I would just like to welcome you to this week's reading. You know, I'm all about self-realization and self-mastery, so everything that I share is with the hope that it will assist you and anyone that you share this video with on your path to self-realization and self-mastery, which basically means to a greater level of comfort with your true self, and more peace and happiness and joy in all that you do. It's been a while since I made a video. I'm ashamed about how long it's been, but it is what it is. I think once I move out of the motherhood phase so strongly, it won't be so crazy. But anyway, I hope to be more consistent, as I always say. We'll see. Anyway, I hope this video finds you well. I hope it finds you in great spirits. This week's energy that is speaking, two energies, F.E.A.R, as well as F.E.A.R. So I've used my Metanetta Oracle as I normally do with these readings. And what is very important for us this week, it has to do with our health. What we have to do is focus on being healthier in our bodies, in our minds, in our spirits. So we need to think about the changes that we need to make and begin coming up with a plan to implement those changes. With F.E.A.R speaking, it's sort of like a like you just have to go for it. You have to just say, this is what I'm going to do. We can't sit around and talk about, well, I know I need to do this, and oh, this part of my health is wrong, or it's bad, or whatever. No, F.E.A.R says, hey, we've made the decision, we're going for it. Full speed ahead. So it's very important for you to go on ahead and make the changes that you need to make in your health. Because a lot of times when we get these kind of readings, we don't know what lies ahead, but the oracle does. And so if we listen to and follow the wisdom of the oracle, we'll land in a better spot if something comes up. So, like, you know, when I saw that reading, I thought, I'm not surprised by it, because I feel like I have a slight cold coming on. So it could be that some of us find that we're not feeling well, and so this is a time to immediately, when you don't feel well, start doing something to take care of yourself, to feel better. Okay, so we need to work. I'm not just about the physical body, because the physical body emanates from the mental, the spiritual, and the emotional. So I'm all about the holistic approach to health. I also know that when Gab speaks, it's very important for us to be in nature more. How many of us walk outside? How many of us take time to go to a park, to go camping, to go on the water and spend time on the earth? One of my friends, one of my priest friends, told a group of us that if you walk outside barefoot, the earth will recharge you. It will do some type of work where it can basically, like wherever you are off, it can reset your energy. And so being outside in nature is key to us being healthy. It's key to us being whole. So be sure to get out and be in nature. The other thing that we have to remember is we've got to take care of Mother Earth. This is our Mother Earth, our own personal Mother Earth. And then we have to take care of the environment. Well, how are you helping to take care of the environment? If you're doing it, great. Keep it up. If you're not, what can you do to help take care of our earth home? And so our connection to the earth is very important. The other thing that we want to think about is this is a week to be grounded. We want to be grounded. We don't want to be too flighty. If we find that we're flighty, we need to find grounding. What are the things that ground you? For me, something that's very grounding is routine. I mean, that's something that's very important and essential in my life. If I don't have a routine, I'll find myself moving to and fro. So make sure that you get grounded this week. Something else to think about with Geb is it's all about abundance. It's about prosperity. Basically what it's saying is that you have to know that the way this realm is set up, this physical realm is set up, is that whatever we need, we manifest it through our abundance consciousness. And so if you don't have health in your abundance consciousness, then you may find that you're experiencing lack. We shouldn't. With the card that I pulled, we should not be experiencing any lack. We should be experiencing abundance and prosperity. We should be expecting the best. We should be expecting a cornucopia of all good things. It's not all the time just about money. In this particular case, it's a large possibility that it is about money. It is about having what you need. If you feel like there's something you need and you can't quite get it, this is a week to open yourself up to receiving exactly what it is that you need. This is the way of the physical realm. We have to operate according to the natural laws of the universe. And so we manifest things. We manifest what we need. But we will manifest whatever we're thinking about. So if we're thinking lack, we're going to manifest lack. But like I said, it's not all the time about needing stuff. Sometimes it's about having an abundance of help that we need, love, companionship. And the best way to move in a very fast manner towards what you want is to focus on what you have, to give thanks for all the good things that are happening in your life. This is a time of year, I'm in the US of A, where people are getting close to Thanksgiving in November, and folks want to do, gratitude journals and posts and all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of thing to think about. To be in the attitude of gratitude, it will open up whatever it is you need. It'll manifest more quickly if you start giving thanks for what you have instead of looking at what you don't have. With Herakahuti speaking, if we're talking health, we need to focus on our immune system. Herakahuti has to do with the immune system. Also, we need to focus on our skin. I don't know which part of the world you're in, but whatever that temperature is, some people have an adverse effect, or the temperature has an adverse effect on some people. So just make sure you take care of your skin, but take care of your immune system. You want to keep your immune system high. This is a week where we're going to feel a lot of fire. We'll feel a lot of urge to move forward on things. We just don't want to be rash and hasty. We want to make sure that our actions are guided by wisdom, that we are in alignment with truth before we move forward on whatever it is that we want to move forward on. This is a week where we must be authentic. We cannot be fake. We have to get real with ourselves about the parts of ourselves that are outdated. Herakahuti, Ogun, is a warrior energy. This energy carries a machete. And so what we have to do with that machete is cut away anything in us that we know is not serving our highest and greatest good. That's what we're being called to do. We have to be courageous. We can't walk around in fear. That's what this week is all about. We must shed fear. And we especially need to shed fear when it comes to moving in the direction that we want to move in. When it comes to manifesting our dreams, our goals, and our desires. We have to be very courageous. We have to release fear. We have to be so courageous that we don't fear loss. We don't fear death. We have to have a lot of passion and a lot of zeal in the way that we carry ourselves this week. We may find, though, that if we are too passionate, if we're too zealous, that we may be finding ourselves in arguments, that we might be cutting people with our words, that we might find ourselves combative. So when we're in that situation, if you find yourself in that situation, then the best thing to do is to make sure you're asking yourself, are you being fair? Are you being of good character? Are you standing up for what is really right? Or is your ego what is causing you to argue with other people? And so, you know, the ego is it's a tricky thing, because we must have an ego in order to have a spiritual or a physical experience. The ego is not bad, but when we have assigned the ego this power, this responsibility of leading and guiding and directing our lives, when the ego really is only designed to be the channel through which our highest and greatest self manifests itself and manifests its experiences and has experience in this physical world. This part of ourselves, and that mental part that's pretty shallow, that's pretty on the surface of our identity, it was never meant to lead, guide, and direct anything. And so we have to watch our ego when it's getting us in sticky situations, when it's causing problems for us. And so we have to think about that this week. If we find ourselves just really being on fire a little bit too much, where it's causing problems. The other thing to think about is, this is a week where something can come from nothing, where you may feel like this is it, it's over, and the next thing you know, exactly what you need manifests itself. But if you're walking in fear, you'll less likely have that experience. So open yourself up to the possibility that something can come from nothing. If you study all the ancient spiritual texts, they talk about this, because the most real world is the non-physical. Everything stems from the unseen, the non-physical. And so something really can come from nothing this week. I used to love hearing all the old folks talk about how their grandma and them would say, we're going to fix dinner. And they would go and look in the kitchen, they'd look in the pantry, they'd look in the refrigerator, and they would say, there's no food here. But when grandma and mama and them called them to the table to eat, the table was full of food. Something from nothing. The old people, as much as we think they don't know, sometimes they do know a little bit more than us, okay? Something can come from nothing. That's the top message I'm hearing. And of course, with me being a child of Yemanya, with me being a priestess of Yemanya, I will always say, take care of yourself when I'm sharing a Yemanya message. It's really so important to love yourself, to care about yourself. Because when you operate from a place of love, you'll operate and do good things. You'll do good things for yourself. And so it's very important for you to love yourself, to do good things for yourself, to nurture yourself, to step away from self-abuse and step into self-care. Okay? You will be much happier if you do. Just because we live in a world that really is on, I've been just using the word on octane. Everything's on octane, including me. Which is probably why that's probably the real reason I'm not making videos. Always on octane. We have to say, I don't care. We're slowing down enough to meditate. That's something we should do. Not just this week, every week. If you're not meditating, you need to meditate. If you are not feeling comfortable with meditation because you're so used to being on octane and it's hard for you to slow down and get quiet, what I say is to be aware, to be present in the now moment. That's a form of meditation. Bring yourself in the now. Tell yourself when you catch yourself in the past or in the future. Not dealing with that right here, right now. The next thing I'm hearing to talk about is fear. I was thinking about fear recently because I've been in a lot of fear here lately. And a lot of this fear for me has to do with doing new things and feeling uncomfortable. So to a certain degree, it's good if we're feeling fearful and uncomfortable because we're doing something new. We just can't stay there. But it conjured up my demons that I've been dealing with, like self-esteem issues and worthiness and, just feeling competent, which I tend to be pretty competent. So I always get confused. I don't always consider myself to be the best, even though I strive to be the best. I tend to always be at the least excellent. So I get confused about why I'm dealing with these demons. And I give thanks for these moments because I thought about fear. False expectations appearing real. Let's talk about that word, fear. So if you really think about it, fear stems from what we expect. And in our minds, because our minds create our reality, before we even see it, if we see it on our minds, it just creates all this fear. All these false expectations, they appear real in our minds, and next thing we know, we're paralyzed in fear. We can't do anything, or woe is me. That's what I do. Woe is me. Whoa, oh my God, it's so difficult. Or we find ourselves engaging addictions. And so I said, it just is so clear that really the bottom line is, how about whatever it is we're thinking about, let's just keep moving forward in the direction we have to go and see what happens, instead of sitting around feeling fearful. Because ask yourself, what has fear ever done for you? What has fear ever done for you? I do think there are some, like I mentioned, it's some healthy fear, but the majority of us are not experiencing healthy fear. The majority of us are experiencing fear that keeps us in one place, that makes us have addictions, that makes us whine and complain and moan and groan and just do nothing. One of my friends, because I made a post about fear, said what fear means to him is face everything and rise. How about that? Let's face it and rise. Face everything and rise. So that's what we're going to do. When you have that Herakahuti Ogun energy with you, you will face everything with fierceness and courage. You will face it with zeal and passion. And you'll do it because you know you're going to end up in a better place on the other side of this thing. So this is a week for us to just really move forward. The energy is so positive. I love it when I see a positive reading for us. So open yourselves up to receive a plethora of abundance now and forever. But for sure over the next week. Why don't you do a little research and see what happens. I am Omilade, your goddess guru. Just so grateful that you took time to join me in this reading today. Please like and share the video. And I would love to hear your thoughts on what I have shared today. And I wish you an abundance of peace, love, joy, happiness, and harmony. Oh, and love in your life. And you have a wonderful rest of the week. Peace.